Our story begins today in a distant place in the depths of the ocean. There we see a dolphin named Snowball playing with a small squid. After a while, Snowball leaves it and rises to the surface to breathe some air. When he returns to find the squid again, he can't find it. At that moment, he sees a specific strange-looking cave. Since Snowball is very curious, he decides to head toward this cave. Indeed, he approaches the cave, enters it, and explores it in awe. Suddenly, an evil and very terrifying-looking octopus appears. Snowball gets scared and swims fast to escape, but the octopus corners him, stops him, and starts annoying him with its tentacles. The octopus reminds him that the law of the ocean forbids him from coming here. Snowball tells him that he was just playing, not looking for trouble, and apologizes for what happened, explaining that he had to go to the surface to breathe. Unfortunately, the octopus grabs him and prevents him, wanting to kill him. Snowball is terrified and calls for his mother to come and help him. As soon as the mother arrives, the octopus gets scared, leaves Snowball, and flees. Afterwards, Snowball goes to his mother, who reminds him that she warned him against approaching this area, informing him that this place is called the Black Valley and is very dangerous. At that moment, the octopus takes advantage of them not seeing him and cuts the chain holding a group of pipes, dropping them onto them. The mother is shocked. She takes Snowball and swims quickly, entering one of the pipes to exit from the other side. But unfortunately, this pipe falls among a group of rocks. At that time, only Snowball is able to get out of it. When the mother notices that he needs to breathe, she makes air bubbles for him and asks him to go to the surface quickly. Snowball sets off, but before he reaches the surface, the octopus obstructs his path and prevents him because he hates sea creatures that breathe air. Suddenly, a giant shell arrives and falls into the ocean, taking the octopus with it down to the depths. Because of that falling shell, Snowball's mother is able to get out of the pipe. She keeps looking for Snowball, feeling very worried about him. At that point, Snowball reappears, goes to her, and reassures her. He shows her a small child and tells her that he fell with the giant shell. When the mother notices the child needs to breathe, she takes him and rises to the surface quickly. After a while, we go to a meeting where a large group of fish is gathered. There, Snowball shows them the child and tells them what happened. Everyone present is surprised by the child's appearance and understands that he might be a danger to them. Snowball reassures them, saying he found him in the giant shell that fell in the Black Valley. As soon as the fish learn he was there, they are terrified because the evil octopus has lived there for a long time. While they are talking, Snowball notices the child needs to breathe, so he takes him and goes to the surface quickly to let him get enough oxygen. At that time, an old turtle appears, and we understand he is the leader of the fish. We learn he will determine the child's fate. When Snowball returns to the meeting, he says this child might be a type of starfish. But all the fish are unconvinced and see the child as a threat because he doesn't look like any sea creature they've seen before. At that moment, the child leaves Snowball, goes to the turtle, and approaches him. The turtle sympathizes with him and treats him with love. He gives him to Snowball's mother to keep him, since he poses no threat, and reminds her that he will always need to breathe like dolphins. Snowball is happy and plays with the child with great joy. When they go to sleep, the mother surrounds them with a bubble of air. After a period, we see Snowball playing with the child, spending beautiful time together. We notice that as long as they play, the child is exposed to great dangers, so Snowball's mother watches them all the time. Many days pass, and the child grows up. We learn they named him Dolphie. We see that he and Snowball spend all their time together, always going to the broken pier in the middle of the ocean. One day, Dolphie notices he doesn't have fins like Snowball. He goes up to the pier and asks Snowball why he doesn't look like him and doesn't have fins or a tail. At that moment, Snowball confesses the truth to him, that he is not a dolphin at all. He tells him that he found him years ago in the giant shell that fell in the Black Valley. Dolphie is surprised and says he always felt different from all the sea creatures. Snowball gets nervous and asks him not to tell anyone, saying his mother would be upset if she knew he told the truth. Despite this, they both set off to go to the Black Valley. There they see the giant shell, which is actually the wreckage of a plane. Dolphie approaches it, manages to open the door, and enters with Snowball. At that moment, the octopus exits the door without them noticing. Dolphie and Snowball continue exploring, and by chance, Dolphie sees a locket with a picture of a human woman. He takes it and tells Snowball that the creature in the picture looks very much like him, and it's very possible she is his mother. He decides to keep the locket and looks happy. Shortly after, Dolphie and Snowball are surprised by glowing plankton creatures and start eating them one by one in joy until they lose focus. When they wake up, they find themselves back home. They talk about the plankton they found in the Black Valley and how delicious it tasted. To their surprise, the mother is behind them. She is shocked by what she hears and blames them for going to the Black Valley, despite her warnings. Dolphy gets angry and upset because she hid the truth, that she isn't his mother. He tells her he must return to the giant shell and leaves her. Snowball follows him until they reach the Black Valley, where very sharp and dangerous-looking plants have appeared and are constantly growing. Suddenly, the mother arrives too and asks them to stay there, telling them she will enter the plane wreckage to look for the human woman in the picture. Dolphy thanks her and apologizes for his bad behavior. The mother forgives him and goes down to search the wreckage. As soon as she enters the plane, the octopus comes and locks the door on her. Suddenly, the plants grow larger and surround Dolphy and Snowball, who go down to the mother to warn her, but unfortunately, they find her trapped. Dolphy cannot open the door and keeps trying until he loses consciousness due to lack of oxygen. The mother asks Snowball to take Dolphy and escape quickly. Snowball takes Dolphy and speeds away through the plants toward the surface. After a while, we see he successfully saved Dolphy. They both go to the turtle and ask for help to save their mother. The turtle decides to help them and asks the other fish to join. But suddenly the octopus arrives, having grown larger and more terrifying. He begins attacking Snowball, hitting him and knocking him to the ground. Dolphy dives after him to check on him. As for the octopus, he goes to the other fish and releases his ink. As soon as the fish breathe it, the octopus controls them. He grabs the turtle and tells him that one day a giant shell fell on him, and he was trapped inside and couldn't get out. Since there was no food, he kept eating the glowing plankton, and thanks to it, his size grew immensely. Also, anyone who breathes his ink, he can control. He informs them that thanks to Dolphy and Snowball, he was able to get out of the shell. At that moment, Dolphy and Snowball decide to attack him. Dolphy exploits the ink spread everywhere and approaches. The octopus squeezes the turtle and tortures him. Snowball gets angry and pounces, but the octopus catches him easily. Dolphy takes advantage of the distraction and bites the octopus's tentacles, but the octopus tosses him aside and mocks him. When Dolphy attacks again, the octopus avoids him, catches him, and makes fun of him, saying he isn't one of them and that the dolphin trapped in the plane isn't his mother. He tells him that if he wants to find his real mother, he must go to the land. At that time, a boat is passing above them. The octopus makes the fish take Dolphy toward the boat so humans can find him, laughing an evil laugh. After a while, we see the boat near the shore. A strange person named Marfford arrives and checks on the unconscious Dolphy. He asks the sailor how this boy is still alive. The sailor says the important thing is that he's okay, leaves him, takes the boat, and departs. As soon as Marfford sees the picture in the locket, he is shocked. Later, Dolphy wakes up and sees Marfford sleeping. He gets scared and sneaks away quietly to return to the ocean. But he faces great difficulty walking. Marfford wakes up and tries to stop him, but Dolphy accidentally knocks him down and crawls on the sand until he reaches a place with many dolphins on the shore. Dolphy is terrified seeing them and looks for Snowball. He finds him and goes to check on him, crying. Fortunately, Snowball is still alive. When Dolphy realizes this, he hugs him in joy and asks why all the dolphins are on the shore. Snowball explains they fled because they're afraid of the octopus, who controlled all the fish. When they learn their mother died, Dolphy is very sad, and they both cry. Marfford sees everything and is surprised that Dolphy can talk to the dolphin. Dolphy gets scared of Marfford and pushes Snowball to return him to the ocean, but faces difficulty due to the sand. Marfford decides to help and pulls Snowball by his tail into the ocean. Before they leave, Marfford shows the locket to Dolphy and says he knows where his mother is and can take him to her. Dolphy hugs Snowball and says he must find his mother. Snowball understands and bids him farewell. In another place, we see an old ship with a group of sailors. Marfford enters and talks to the leader, Madget, saying he found an amphibious boy who swims with high skill. Everyone mocks him, but Madget gets an idea and decides to exploit Marfford, saying the boy could participate in a pearl hunting competition. Marfford likes the idea. Later, when Dolphy wakes up, he finds walking difficult and discovers the doors locked. A strange woman and her daughter arrive. The woman is Marfford's wife, wondering why he isn't at his cafe. She says since his ship sank, he's wanted to buy a new one by any means. She takes her daughter and leaves. Dolphy hears everything through the door and decides to escape through the window. Later, in the village by the ocean, we see Dolphy can now walk on his legs. He walks through the market, and whenever he sees a woman, he thinks she's his mother. Suddenly, he hears someone calling for help. He finds a fish, which is surprised Dolphy understands it. The fish asks him to save it before the humans kill it. Suddenly, the seller sees Dolphy and calls people, saying there's a thief. Dolphy gets scared, takes the fish bowl, and runs. He throws the fish and slides under a cart, jumping to catch it again, but the sailors corner him. He runs toward them and throws the fish into the air to fall into the ocean. But unfortunately, it falls back into the bowl. At that time, Marfford's wife goes to him at Madget's place and asks why he's there. The sellers who caught Dolphie arrive and tell Marfford his son was stealing fish. The wife is shocked. Later, Marfford gives Dolphie a haircut and tells his wife the boy swims like a dolphin and that winning the competition will buy a new ship. The wife is upset by the haircut and restores his natural look, understanding her husband is exploiting him. Marfford says he knows the child's father's location and will take him there after the contest. Days pass, and Dolphie lives with the family, appearing happy. After a while, Marfford buys a small boat and takes Dolphie to the ocean to train him. But Dolphie refuses. At sunset, the old sailor sees them near his tower and hears Marfford promising Dolphie that if he wins, he'll take him to the Red Island where his mother is, though he doesn't know if she's alive. Dolphie stands on the edge, looks at the locket, and jumps into the ocean. He goes to Snowball and tells him that if he helps Marfford win, he'll be taken to his mother. Snowball agrees. The next day, they train together. On the day of the competition, Madget's giant ship arrives next to Marfford's small boat, and the sailors mock him. Madget presents his contestants, the giant, the crab, the frog, and Hercules. Dolphie is intimidated, looks into the ocean, and whistles for Snowball. The competition starts, and the 4 contestants dive. Dolphie dives after them and swims fast. Hercules and the giant are shocked to see Dolphie diving into the Black Valley. In the same place, a diver is searching for something and is impressed by Dolphie and Snowball. Unfortunately, the locket falls from Dolphie. The diver takes it and is surprised by the picture. Over time, the contestants return with oysters. The giant says Dolphie might die because he went to a dangerous place, but Marfford reassures them. Dolphie and Snowball reach a deep place and gather oysters that look different. Meanwhile, Madget gets excited and raises the stakes, telling Marfford if Dolphie gathers many oysters, he'll give him his ship, but if not, he'll take Marfford's cafe. Marfford agrees. When the competition ends, Marfford beats the drums and Dolphie brings his oysters. Marfford is happy but then shocked to see only a few oysters. Madget mocks him, saying he lost his cafe. But Dolphie surprises him with many pearls he brought. Every oyster has a rare pearl inside. Marfford is dazzled, saying he'll be rich and can buy 10 ships. Suddenly, hooks are thrown at their boat. Marfford gets scared and eats the pearls quickly. Someone attacks him, and they lose consciousness. After a while, Marfford wakes up tied on a ship with 3 female pirates who ask about the pearls. Marfford refuses to tell, so Dolphie intervenes and says he ate them all. Meanwhile, Snowball watches the pirate ship and is surprised to see the diver hide in Marford's boat. The pirates give Marfford a specific fruit, so he goes to the bathroom to get the pearls. Fearing for his life, he eats it. The pirates sing and dance and are shocked that Marfford knows their song, which only 4 people know. They tie him, blindfold him, and take him to their leader. They reach an island. Marfford knows it's the Red Island and knows every detail without seeing. We see the sailor is the same diver. They enter a cave and meet an old woman named Czar, who is impressed to see Marfford and asks about his long absence. Marfford asks if the mother, Nahid, is still alive. Czar says she's in a coma, doing nothing but crying. Dolphie explores and finds Nahid surrounded by a lake of tears. She is his real mother. Czar tells him Marfford saved his mother 10 years ago and brought her here. Marfford remembers the plane engine exploding and crashing into his ship. Czar explains that no medicine can cure her, but her tears and blood contain a cure for toxins. The sailor interrupts, saying he knows an antidote in the sunken plane and that only Dolphie and Snowball can reach it. Czar refuses to risk Dolphie's life. At night, Dolphie and the sailor set off. Marford's wife is worried and a fisherman suggests he's at the sailor's tower. Dolphie takes the sailor to the broken pier and learns the plane is in the Black Valley. He tells Snowball they must get the antidote. They check on the turtle, who is tired and warns them about the poisonous ink. They enter the cave and a strange crab, the head of the guards, stops them. Dolphie takes the crab's shell and tells the others whoever wants to be leader should take it, throwing it away so they chase it. They reach the Black Valley. The fish have become aggressive. They hide in the ink without breathing and watch the octopus controlling the fish and eating one. Dolphie and Snowball reach the plane and take the antidote. When they return to the sailor, he laughs evilly, hits Dolphie, and prevents him from reaching the boat. Snowball takes Dolphie around the boat. Dolphie jumps and attacks the sailor, knocking the antidote away. The sailor's fake beard falls off. He says he knows about Dolphie's parents. The sailor tells him his parents invented this antidote and tested it on fish, making them large and aggressive, which caused his father's death. His mother took the antidote to keep it from evil hands, so he shot a missile at the plane. Dolphie cries. The sailor mocks him, throws some antidote into the ocean, and jumps on the now giant octopus. The sailor says with the antidote, he can control the octopus. He destroys the boat. Snowball saves Dolphie but breathes the ink and feels tired. Marfford and the pirates are stuck because the sailor emptied the fuel. Dolphie reaches the island with the sick Snowball. Czar asks for Nahid's tears to heal him, which works. They plan to stop the octopus at the strait. The water turns black. They open the flow of tears from the island into the ocean. Dolphie goes to confront the octopus. Marfford's wife arrives with a ship and villagers to help. The turtle and dolphins join them. A violent battle ensues. The whale makes waves to spread the cure. The fish return to normal. The sailor gives the octopus more antidote, making him a terrifying giant who destroys the human ship. He swallows the sailor and the antidote and heads for the island. Lightning hits the fuel in the water and fire surrounds them. The dolphins help them escape. Dolphie sees the octopus climbing the island. He notices his nose bleeding and remembers the cure is in his blood. He asks Snowball to take him to the whale. He jumps onto the whale's blowhole, which launches him into the sky. The octopus opens his mouth to eat him. Dolphie's nose bleeds again. It rains. Everyone is happy because Dolphie defeated the octopus, but they fear he sacrificed his life. Marfford searches for him. Dolphie is sinking in the Black Valley, but glowing stars surround him. Snowball finds Dolphie's mother, who appears, hands him Dolphie, and disappears. Snowball takes him to the surface. Marfford resuscitates him. Everyone celebrates. Later, Marfford tells the story of Dolphie's heroism. Dolphie and Snowball spend time in the now pure ocean. The octopus is alive but small again, chased by the crabs. Finally, Dolphie saved the ocean after a dangerous journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell to receive the latest videos.